everybody. Welcome to the latest episode of Port City Living, the podcast about life in Wilmington, North Carolina. The days of our lives of Wilmington, North Carolina. Today, we're going to talk about a really hot topic, a soapbox topic, the traffic in Wilmington, North Carolina. That's going to be part of it, but we're going to talk about actual transportation in Wilmington, North Carolina. Right. If you haven't visited Wilmington, what are the various ways to maneuver through this metropolis that we have here? And we have a very, very extra special guest. My good friend David is here. David has been begging and pleading to be on this podcast, and he's finally here. Yay!
Thanks for having me, guys. I just want to say I love what y'all are doing here. I've listened to every episode so far.
Exciting. We got one fan.
I'm a fan of you guys, and I'm a Wilmington fan.
Yay.
Nice. So I'll give a little background. I moved here in 2017, and I've seen our city grow and get more trafficy, and now everything's going from construction, 2 lanes to 3 lanes, and they're putting stoplights and bypasses and highways everywhere. So
roundabouts.
I'm kind of a traffic pattern expert.
Gotcha.
Are you really?
I would say so. I've been
self-proclaimed.
I commute about 40 miles each way through this town since 2017. So.
Yeah, David, for those of you listening, lives at one end of New Hanover County, drives all the way through New Hanover County to the other end, and then out, because he works up in Jacksonville, North Carolina, which is about an hour from Wilmington. So yeah, you do drive a lot.
It's true.
And how is it when you're driving? It sucks, right?
So I guess in the spirit of this episode, let's just start with the basics, that there's no reliable public transit.
Actually, let's start with our shot first. Then we'll start with the nightmare of the traffic in this town.
And no one is driving after this.
No one's driving after this. Cheers, everyone. Salute.
Ooh. Smooth. Like gasoline.
Smooth.
So good.
Okay. Finish your story.
Oh, I've been living here since 2017, been driving around town. I've lived on the beach side and downtown side, and I've kind of seen, we've grown, I think, in the past 20 years, we've added about 100,000 people to this county. So
in how many years?
Since the 2000 census. So 24 years, pardon me.
Yeah. I would think it was much more than 100,000.
I would have to double check my numbers for the exact.
No, I'm just saying.
I couldn't find anything. I searched and searched, trying to find some kind of data about how many drivers do we have in New Hanover County in the Wilmington area. How many? I did find wrecks. I did find some interesting statistics, and this is from 2021. Wilmington ranked the 14th worst when it came to driver safety in North Carolina. And I would think it would be much, much higher than that.
Wilmington, or was that New Hanover County?
Well, it said Wilmington. But we all know, because we've talked about this before, Wilmington is basically New Hanover County.
Well, correct. But I'm just thinking in comparison to, what is there, 100 counties across the state? Mm-hmm. And so if we were 14th out of 100 counties, not terrible, 14th out of all the cities,
in the US.
That's pretty far up. Or in North Carolina, that's pretty far up there.
Well,
anecdotally, I mean, on my drive to and from work every day, and I spend 2 hours in the car every day, there's a lot of accidents, and specifically a lot of rear end accidents, which if I had to conjecture, if I had to guess, I think it's a lot of texting and driving.
For sure.
And I think
absolutely.
People are scrolling through TikTok or Instagram and then schwap. Even with technology nowadays and rear end warnings and all this, like following distances, you can set these cars to fancy settings. I still see a lot of rear end
my
accidents.
car is a 2023, and I can set it to where it won't veer off the road, and I have to put my signal on to change lanes. And if I have it on cruise control, it slows down when it gets up too close to a car. So, and I know a lot of people don't have newer cars, but those are really, really awesome features that cars have nowadays.
I mean, I don't have a 23, mine's a 15, but I have all those, and I have the car distance. Like if you are on cruise control, it will pull back 1, 2, or 3 car lengths depending on where you got.
And then as that car moves ahead, it'll pick you back up and keep going.
Correct.
But you can't do that in Wilmington.
See, I'm ripping up and down 40 every day.
Well, that's true.
If we just talk about driving in the city, Market, Oleander, college, what have you, there's a lot of lights. I mean, if you're going to get anywhere from point A to B here, crossing town, even going over to Wrightsville, you're going to hit a lot of lights. You're going to stop and go.
Yeah.
According to the statistics I read, that those three, College, Market, and Carolina Beach Road, are the three highest traffic-prone roads in Wilmington.
And I think we're all feeling it between the extra people who have moved here and the extra construction.
Yes.
Different changes to things.
Because as we've said, New Hanover County is the second smallest county in the state, and we have a lot of people living here. And I have seen the traffic just increase since, well, in the mid-'90s, because I remember, coming here as a kid, and even when I lived here in the early '90s, I knew all the back roads. Like Carr Avenue was a back road, Wrightsville Avenue was a back road. Well, those aren't back roads anymore; those are all regular roads, and everybody's figured out those shortcuts. And so now, there's no way to get from one end of this county to the other really fast.
That's absolutely true. I mean, because we used to have those fun days at the beach, and then we go back to your house, and it's like that used to be kind of smooth sailing, and now it's like light, traffic. And don't even get through the light on the first try. More traffic.
And the more apartment complexes we had, and the more lights, because they're putting up more every day, and so that means we stop more. So, I will say, to me, the easiest road to ride on is Oleander. I think.
Agreed. That's how I go.
For some reason, I don't know what it is about that road, but it seems to flow a lot better than the rest of them.
It's the north end of Oleander versus the south end of Oleander, too. Right?
True. As you get south towards downtown, there is more traffic.
Well, I just think once you cross over College and you're dealing with the old school mall and country club and all that.
Those are the worst lights.
Yep. Every 20 feet.
So Wilmington is the 6th worst alcohol-related accidents.
Well, let's refresh our memory on the statistic from last episode about how much alcohol is sold in New Hanover County per capita. So that makes sense.
So y'all are Southerners then. You call them checkpoints, like DUI checkpoints.
Yeah.
I believe there are a lot in this county. I mean, just driving around especially on Saturday nights, you'll see them. I don't know if it's meant a lot compared to the rest of the U.S.
I've been through my share. in my days on the road. I don't go out much anymore, so I don't have to worry about that.
You don't go out much anymore. Whatever.
I don't.
That being said, though, there is a pretty good Uber community here, Lyft.
Huge.
I mean,
yes.
When I first got here in 2017, it was a little difficult to get an Uber or Lyft.
I'm still kind of new then too. Like
Well, I remember the very first time. Do you remember the first time you ever took Uber anywhere?
I did because it's a tangential story, but Taylor Swift had ridden in it.
Ridden in your Uber?
Right before me.
Wow.
She was here at...
How does Taylor Swift not have her own personal driver?
So she flew into the private airport.
A very good question.
What's the private airport? Not LM. And then she was going to a wedding at Wrightsville Beach for one of her friends.
Oh, here. She was here.
She was here, yeah. This is,
I did not
July
know that.
2017.
Right now, all the girls are going nuts that are listening to the story, and they want the license plate number of that Uber.
Well, I just remember she had like a plastic wrap on the seats to prevent sand from the beach, but she had kind of scrunched it all up. She's like, yeah, I had to, gussy it up a little bit.
Wow.
That's crazy.
And so my friends and I, we couldn't find parking at Wrightsville Beach, which is another good topic for this podcast, the parking at Wrightsville Beach.
Yeah, we'll get there in a minute.
It's all political, and I don't want to get...
Is it? You think it's all political?
Anyway,
I do too, actually. Yeah.
I'd circled around 3 times, couldn't find parking. We doubled back, parked in Mayfair, took an Uber, and the driver was so excited. She's like, yeah, I just took Taylor Swift and some girly friends over to the beach for a wedding.
Really?
Well, the first time I ever rode an Uber was in Atlanta, Georgia, and it was in September of 2013. And they were fresh.
Ahead of your time.
Fresh. Yeah, it was pretty awesome.
I was Las Vegas, September of 22 before I got in my first Uber.
What?
Yes.
Brad, that was like the other day.
Right.
Wow.
I think I was 2012 Uber Black in Philly.
Yeah.
Because they started with only Uber Black, a black Chevy Suburban or whatnot pulls up, and it's like an experience to take an Uber. And now it's like someone smoking a joint.
I
in a
did
Toyota
have,
Corolla.
here in Wilmington, I did have somebody pick me up on a Tesla once. So that was pretty cool. That was probably the fanciest Uber I've ever been in.
We're getting way off topic here. But
We are getting off
I got
topic,
to share a
sorry.
story, though.
Okay,
because
okay.
With that trip to Vegas in 22, we were Ubering everywhere. We flew into the airport. We Ubered to the resort. We would Uber once a day to somewhere that we couldn't walk to or didn't want to walk to. And then we had tickets to see one of the Cirque du Soleil shows while we were there. And there was gridlock on the strip. We were staying in the Bellagio. There was gridlock on the strip. So we caught up the Uber as we left our room. It said it was like 10 minutes wait. It took them like 40 minutes to get there. And a Tesla showed up.
Oh.
And then we got stuck. The traffic patterns in Las Vegas and the ride shares are flawless. Like they've got that thing down to a science. But this guy showed up, and when he finally picked us up, like he couldn't go anywhere just because the traffic wasn't moving anywhere. And when he finally got us out, and he could get around the strip or the traffic on the strip, he floored it. And this was before F1 came to town, so we felt like we were racing for our lives. My wife is like sitting in the back seat with me. Her fingers are like permanently imprinted on my thigh. We were like zipping in and out of traffic, and then he goes into the back. I don't remember if it was Treasure Island or where we were at.
And this is your first Uber ever?
No, this was just my first series of Ubers. Was that trip. My first ever was just that, being picked up from the airport. But Uber's incredible.
Yeah,
and Lyft,
it's a good option in Wilmington.
Yeah, it is, because I remember the days when we had taxis here, yellow taxis, and that's not a thing anymore.
Because let's be honest,
at all.
If you're drinking, it's either downtown or maybe
at Wrightsville Beach.
Many of the beach bars, or many of the breweries in Midtown. So to go between the mall, you kind of need safe transportation. You shouldn't drink and drive.
Correct.
Yeah, Correct. This is a PSA. Don't drink and drive, kids.
You'll get caught in this county.
You will get caught in this county.
I've bailed a few people.
And I'll tell you where you get caught the worst, even for speeding. Like if you go one little molecule over the speed limit at Wrightsville Beach, they will nail your ass to the wall, and they don't play. Yep. Yeah, they really don't play.
Matter of fact, with our meeting, we had a sales meeting all day today, and it was at the beach. And the Booze It and Lose It van was like holding onto the island first thing this morning.
This is a Thursday
for
morning.
Y'all.
No, maybe for us. I don't know, but no, just in general. I think they're getting ready to hunker down and get ready for the weekend.
That's right. I keep forgetting that it's Memorial Day weekend coming up.
We're recording the day before, like the Memorial Day.
So every time I've gone through a checkpoint, either as the driver, passenger in an Uber, it's always been a holiday weekend, St. Patrick's Day, Memorial Day.
So we're recording this like 4 or 5 days before Memorial Day of 2024.
Be careful.
I'm gonna hide under my bed and wrap myself in a blanket.
We're going to Emerald Isle for that weekend.
There's no way in the world you couldn't pay me enough money to go out on the beach.
I did that Memorial Day 2020. Emerald Isle was pretty lit even during the pandemic.
Oh my God, it was incredible.
It's beautiful up there.
We go there all the time. Again,
it's worth the drive.
Off topic, but yes, we've got a little place that we go hang out. We hunker down, and we were actually there when they shut down the beaches during COVID. All right, but carry on. Sorry.
No, I was just thinking about the how they're so picky about speeding on Wrightsville Beach, but in Wilmington, completely different story.
Correct.
There are people that go past me, and even this is the one. So not only is the traffic a sore spot for me, and I get on my soapbox about it, but it's the way people drive.
I can attest to that.
A lot of out-of-state license
I talk
plates.
about it all the time, right? Yes, but even locals that have tags that But what just gets me is the people that fly through school zones. And I'm really specifically picky about school zones because I got a ticket once in High Point, North Carolina. I was going to Furniture Market, and I got a ticket going through a school zone, and that taught me my lesson, and I always slow down for it. But it just blows my mind how I'll slow down to 35 or whatever it is, but normally it's 35, and people just fly past me going 45, 50 miles an hour and could care less.
You know what's crazy to me?
Or one other thing. They slow down just where the light is flashing, and then they speed right back up. And I'm like, well, you know that you haven't even got to the school part yet. So there's kind of like a big stretch there we need to slow down. And it doesn't seem like the Wilmington police give a shit. They've got other things to do.
What's crazy to me is going from Midtown to downtown, that stretch of Market Street where it's 35, kind of where the railroad company built all those historic homes, and the street's really narrow. There's all those nice willow trees. It's beautiful. It's a nice stretch of Market, but it's 35 miles an hour limit, and people are blowing through it like 60. And the roads are so narrow, I'm like, you could easily clip any pedestrian or
because originally that was just a 2-lane road, and they made it a 4-lane road, so it is very tight.
It is very tight,
well,
but people fly through there.
And the cars were a lot smaller back then when they did all that. And
people fly through there.
There's been talk about taking that. This we're talking about from like 23rd Street all the way into downtown, and there was talk once about making that road wider, but that means all those historical oak trees would have to be cut down, and some people might look, and it was like, absolutely not going to do that.
People have really nice little low stone walls in the front of their houses.
Right.
It's a nice stretch of road.
It is a beautiful stretch of road.
People fly through there, and everyone's texting and driving. It's kind of dangerous.
Yeah.
Danger alley.
That's the one thing I have about Wilmington is everybody seems to be in such a hurry here, and I can't quite figure out why. Like, why is everybody in such a hurry? And I feel like everybody's racing. Like, they're not going to let anybody get in front of them, and they're just racing to the next stoplight. And I'm like, just slow down. And people like to and I'm sure this is everywhere. This is not just Wilmington, but people like to cut in and out of traffic thinking they're going to get somewhere faster. When my theory is if you just stay in one lane, you'll get there at the same amount of time.
Well, here's the thing, though.
Right? Am I insane?
Everything is moving at warp speed now. Everything. Look at communication and social media and emails and text messages, and we've got our phones in our pocket where they used to hang on the wall in the kitchen at home. So it just makes sense that people in their cars are going to follow suit and try to go just as fast as everything else in today's world.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Well, if you just think of an average day in Wilmington, you're probably not just staying over in Mayfair. You're probably not just staying over in downtown. You're kind of zipping back and forth between the city. At least in my life, I am, and it's like you're going to sit in a little bit of traffic. You're going to cut lanes because it's.
I mean, I utilize all of New Hanover County for the most part, and always kind of have, Like
and our little peninsula between river and beach is like 12 miles. So you got some space to cross.
Yeah, absolutely. But I used to live out in the Ogden area, and y'all all know where Ogden is, and it's not close to downtown. And I had friends that lived downtown, and sometimes we would have little get-togethers at our house. They wouldn't come to our house because they felt like they were driving to like Egypt or something.
It's
and I'm
20
like,
miles away from downtown.
That far.
Yeah, it goes that way. I mean, I feel the same. You will have heard it before, I'm sure, but just living in Burgaw.
Yeah.
I'm not going that far. Well, guess what? If you're coming from Snow's Cut to try to get to Wrightsville Beach or Ogden, you're going you're on the road.
You're going this right, absolutely, with the traffic. Yes, 100%. But Wilmington, I will say, Wilmington does good when it comes to like pedestrian stuff. Like we have really good bike lanes, or they're working on having good bike lanes and walking trails. We're getting there. As a matter of fact, we've got 100 miles. It's the what they call it, the WMPO, Wilmington Metro Planning Organization. There's 100 miles of bike trails in this area. Now the area spans from like most all of New Hanover County and all over into parts of Brunswick County is where that 100 miles is where they're calculating that. And so, and all the way up to Surf City, believe it or not. So
I would say, a lot of people, it's very bikeable, especially downtown. You can get around. You could get around on a bike.
I wouldn't ride
downtown.
a bike in this town.
I would not ride a bike in this town.
But people do. People do.
I mean, between the cobblestone streets and crazy drivers, I have felt a little dangerous, but it is kind of nice to ride your bike places.
Do you know what the difference in a bike lane, a sharrow lane, and a multi-use lane is? Do y'all know the difference?
Never heard of the latter two.
I think I know what a bike lane is, but the other two are.
A bike lane is just that. It's just a bike lane. It's off, separate from the road, so it's by itself.
Right.
A sharrow lane, SHARROW, is a lane that's like shared. It's you share it with cars, and then the multi-use would be a little bit of all of it. Both of it together. Okay. Kind of interesting. And Wilmington does have a lot of that. And we've in this same area that the WMPO has, we've got 20 trails for walking in 90 different parks. Pretty good.
I mean, people ride the loop, or people can ride. They get those big beach tires and ride bikes at the beach.
Yeah.
I mean, there's other ways to get around within little pockets of Wilmington.
Well, we've also got the public transit. We've got the Wave,
the
big bus. I have never ridden the bus in my life.
Not either. I've not.
But we have 12 fixed routes, and it runs 7 days a week. So
let's talk about pedestrian crosswalk. I mean, is that on the table? Can we have a conversation about that?
Sure.
This office is right here on Military Cutoff, Sir Tyler Drive, across from Mayfair.
Badly needs pedestrian crossings.
There's not a single one for all the apartments.
Oh, you're right. There's not to get over to Mayfair.
To Mayfair.
Yeah.
You have to kind of run across it's kind of like a highway almost.
It's Frogger. You're playing Frogger trying to get across the street.
And then there's when you go into
Yeah.
Either when you go into the Forum or go into Mayfair Town Center, there's no sidewalks to meet you. You kind of have to walk through the grass, and then.
That's interesting.
Yeah, because it's like it's an outdoor shopping center. You think there'd be better sidewalks and a pedestrian crossing.
I remember when none of this was over here. Where we are right this minute in the Forum, none of this was here. I remember all that. I remember when Military Cutoff was just a two-lane little road, and it was just woods on both sides.
Mayfair was a cow and horse pasture.
Which right where the Harris Teeter is and the Marshalls and all that stuff. Yep. That was Parker
Horses
Farms, and I've been back there horseback riding in that pasture before.
If you think about it, though, it's good real estate. You're on your way to the beach. We're 2 miles.
I mean, of course.
Oh,
yeah.
And you're close to landfall. I mean, this is a good zip code, so to speak.
And we have, talking about transportation, we have the ferry, which Brad and I famously failed to get on. A couple of episodes ago, we took a trip over to Southport. We were going to take the ferry over, and it was going to be incredible. And the ferry wasn't running that day, and we couldn't figure out why. It took forever, and we finally, you finally found some site that told us that, it's not working today because of the
Twitter.
The FOB.
X. Excuse me. It was on X. And I somehow got signed up for text notifications. Do you know that ferry shuts down on a regular basis? I finally had to just this week I've subscribed or unsubscribed. Stop.
So it's more of a novelty than it is anything.
I think so.
It is nice to take, though. I mean, you could take it from Fort Fisher over to Southport, which
when
I've done.
when it's running, yeah.
When it runs, and a great photo op, but
Beautiful sunset.
I've done it
And then
before, and it
take
is incredible.
You can take the ferry from Southport to Baldhead Island.
Right, there's that ferry as well.
I've
You
never
have
done
to.
that.
You
I
don't-
really want to do it.
I've done it. It's fun. Me and some friends went over years ago and spent the day on Baldhead, and we rented bikes and we just rode around all day. And we went to the little grocery store they have there, and we got a snack and ate. It's really nice over there. It's beautiful. But yeah, so Wilmington has it going on in some respects. In some respects, they don't.
Yeah, it's a very drivable city. You're relying less on public transit, but we also have more traffic. So there's upside and downside, I think.
Yeah.
It does feel good, though, to have a full day. Like, let's say you go to the beach and you're having your early afternoon lunch there, then you're driving back to downtown, then you can go out. Like, it feels like if maybe you stop in Midtown at some brewery. Like, you can have a full day in Wilmington, and you can have fun. Get a designated driver. There's places to hit along the way.
well, there's so much diversity. You can go to the beach. You can go downtown. You can be midtown shopping. You can be on the river. I mean, they're like,
Yeah.
it doesn't feel the same throughout the entire city like other cities do.
You know what would be interesting is to take the bus routes one day and just do bus transportation and see what life would be like if you didn't have a car.
Sounds like a field trip episode to me.
The wave.
The wave.
It's on NPR a lot. I mean, ridership is down, so I guess the county is trying to make it profitable, but
Well, I think there were some issues with it several years ago where it almost went away because of that very reason.
Well, people are pushing back. They're saying it's public transit for the public. It's not supposed to be profitable. It's supposed to be
Well, that's true,
taxpayer
too.
funded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're kind of having these, board meetings and such. It goes. I just listen on the radio. I've never taken it. I pass it all the time. Living downtown, there's lots of routes. I mean, actually, it could drop you off downtown where you need to be. I just have never taken it.
Yeah, and there's the little trolley downtown. That's kind of fun and cool.
That is fun.
What'd you do, Brad?
Getting a cramp.
Grandpa.
Sorry.
Got the cramp, Grandpa. And then, of course, our other big form of transportation is our international airport. The international part, I'm not exactly sure where it goes. I do know we go to London, but I don't know where we go other than that.
I think they
Canada.
earned their
Canada?
international designation many moons ago for the fact that there was a direct flight to, it was either the Bahamas or Bermuda. Don't ask me where I'm pulling this information from, but that's how they earned their international designation. Everything else still has a layover. I don't think you can fly
Charlotte.
direct from
Yes.
Wilmington to London.
Oh, not. Well,
And I don't think
maybe
you go
not. but-
direct, and that's how you get international status is another country.
I think it was like Montreal and Toronto. But I'd say the big three are Charlotte, Atlanta.
Well,
Maybe
I can
DC.
tell you because I looked it up. We have 7 different airlines that fly out of Wilmington's ILM International Airport. ILM is our call letters. We have American Airlines, and it flies to Charlotte, Dallas, Fort Worth. We have American Eagle, which is Charlotte, Fort Worth, New York, Philadelphia, Washington. We've got a Velo, which is newer for us, and that are direct flights to Fort Lauderdale, New Haven, Orlando, and Tampa. We have Delta Airlines, which goes to Atlanta, of course. We have Delta Connection, which goes to Atlanta, New York, and seasonally to Boston. We've got Sun Country Airlines, which I've never heard of.
It's new.
That goes to Minneapolis, St. Paul, and then we have United Express, which goes to Newark, and then other seasonal places during the year.
Let me just, maybe you all agree. I love our airport. It's so relaxing. You park right near the terminal.
You can basically park in the airport. It's that small.
You could see the wing tips of your plane through the windows from the parking lot. I mean, it feels like the old days of flying where you pull up to the field and see if the flight is
And the
there.
expansion is really cool in there too.
Yeah,
Like
it's
it's neat in there now.
It's not bad. It's not a bad airport.
I would say flying into or out of this city is relaxing. There's not a lot of congestion at the airport. There's easy parking.
I don't even mind
The
flying.
people are friendly. They have friendly TSA agents. That's very rare. We have friendly TSA agents here.
Yeah. I don't even mind flying in and out of Charlotte.
Not recently. There's so many layovers.
Well,
With all the issues with. I've spent 3 overnight trips there since the past year.
I'm getting ready to fly to Fort Lauderdale in August, and I'm excited.
Flying to California
But of
in
course, we have
September.
to go through Charlotte. So,
I like CLT Charlotte's airport as
It is
an
good,
airport.
yeah.
I just don't like all the delays I've been having recently.
yeah, for sure. So, David, why don't you tell us about, we talk about driving, so why don't we talk about what you drive? Because that's kind of interesting, and I think people that are on this kick, this I don't know what you would call it.
Driving kick.
This driving what you're driving.
Oh, driving when you're driving.
What is it, Brad? It's EVs.
Were we supposed to say this together?
We were
Electric
supposed to, but
vehicles.
Brad's on his phone yet again, TikToking.
We didn't rehearse this line.
No. Anyway,
Yeah,
David,
so
you
this,
drive an EV, so
this whole topic kicked off. I was listening to the podcast and I thought there were some great episodes, and I was thinking, if you want to have me as a guest, what could I talk about? And I drive over 100 miles a day, and I'm like, let's talk about EVs, because I see a lot being driven in this county, and I think they're a
is
good
this
way to get around.
elementary vaccination or is it
Electric vehicles.
electric vehicles? Oh, okay. I
And
thought it
also,
was elementary vaccination or elementary vacation. That's not it?
I mean, vaccination's pretty controversial. Do we want this on the
No.
podcast?
Well, I don't care.
How about elephant? Something.
Volume?
Elephant volume?
Elephant volume.
Oh my goodness.
Do you drive an elephant volume?
I don't.
Okay, you drive an electric vehicle.
I
So
drive a Tesla.
Let's
and
talk
there's-
about that for those who do not know anything about electric vehicles and what they're all about. I mean, I'm sure they're pretty common these days now, but I don't know much about them. I don't know. To me, it's just a glorified golf cart.
Yep. So what they're about is, I would say, probably the most common is Tesla, which gets between 240 and 350 miles to a charge. But there are some other ones like the Chevy Volt or the BMW i3 or the Mercedes makes one that gets maybe less miles per charge. But you can pay extra money for a bigger battery, and they will get 300 or 400 miles of charge. So those are the most common I see in America. In other countries and a little bit in the U.S., they do more plug-in hybrids. So you have some gasoline reserve, but you also have
Do you?
100 or 80 miles to a charge that you use up first, then you switch to gasoline.
Do you have gas?
I don't have any. No, Teslas don't have any gas.
No
I
gas.
haven't visited a gas station since 2017.
Bless you.
That is amazing.
And when I got here, so
And trust me, we don't have a lack of gas stations because, as I've
so
said
many.
before, we're going to get to the point where every citizen in Wilmington is going to have their own personal gas station.
yeah, if you need a gas station or a car wash,
Yeah, they're
plenty,
everywhere.
Plenty.
In storage buildings.
But yeah, so I mean, a little backstory. I was one of the original adopters of the Model 3 when charging was free, supercharging was free, but gas was $1.99 a gallon then, so it was a little controversial, to switch to electric. But I've actually found there's actually a lot of free charging in Wilmington, and there are 2 Tesla superchargers. So one is across the street from us in Mayfair, and one is at North College Road at the Lowe's. So we have 2 Tesla superchargers, and
it's free?
for Tesla users, no, it's not free, and quite honestly, per kilowatt, it's actually pretty expensive now. My Model Y gets 330 miles to the tank or to the charge, and it's about, to fill it up, it's like $20. So I mean, per mile per gallon, what gas costs now, and what, let's say your car gets 24 or 25 miles per gallon on average, it's still cheaper than a tank of gas. And a lot of people who have bigger 18 or 20 plus gallons in their SUV, they're paying 60, 70, 80 bucks to fill up. So it's
80, 90 bucks.
yeah, and it's
For the
still
SUV,
cheaper.
yeah. Mark has a Tundra, and he pays about that much to fill his up every time. Yeah.
But I will say, so I mean, people know Elon Musk. He's kind of controversial. He started this.
Who?
Elon Musk.
You heard of him, right?
You've heard of him, maybe. So he started the supercharging network actually as kind of an experiment. Like let's make this about the Tesla brand, and obviously they have the biggest supercharging network in the world. It started free, and obviously when I started with the Model 3, it was free. But I would kind of see what it cost, and that was a 315 mile battery estimated range, And I would go from 10 or 20 or 30 miles almost empty to full, and it'd cost about $1 or $2 to fill because Elon started with lower pricing, but he got smart. Now he knows he could charge you higher per kilowatt, so it's like 20, 21, $22 to fill, and that pisses me off. But it's really not that expensive relative to what gas costs now with inflation.
It's still affordable.
And I go on these business trips to California. Gas is $6.50 to $7 a gallon, and I'm like, oh my god, like charging is definitely cheaper, but it's more expensive than it used to be, for sure.
So what drew you to driving an EV, and when did you start doing that?
So in early 2017, I got the Lexus CT200, which is just a hybrid, not plug-in. It got about 30 or 40 miles electric charge, and you switch to gas. But you could regenerate. It had what's called regenerative braking. They put these magnets in the wheels, and as you let off the gas, the magnets apply and they recapture the energy and they slow your car down. So as you brake, you refill the battery. So between accelerating and braking and putting it in hybrid mode or efficiency mode, comfort mode, I was getting about 52 miles a gallon, which is great because I drive over 100 miles a day. I was doing the same commute. I still do. So, and to fill that small tank, it was a smaller 15-gallon tank with gas prices as cheap as $1.99. It was about, $25 to fill. It wasn't bad. And then you're getting 52 miles a gallon. That's great. Mm-hmm. But then I was like, I put in a reservation number for the Tesla. And when I switched to that, free supercharging, great. At the time, Autopilot was a free trial, which is actually not bad. I mean, if you're going from Wilmington to Raleigh or Wilmington to Charlotte, I mean, you know how kind of quote-unquote boring that drive is on a straight shot.
Yeah.
Autopilot's fine for that. And
what does that mean? You can take your hand off the steering wheel?
You have to keep both hands on the steering wheel, but you can take your foot off the gas. It'll figure out the speed for you, and it'll brake.
So it's sort of like cruise control then. Yeah, it's just cruise control.
Yeah, and all these new cars with adaptive cruise control, I mean, arguably some are probably better than Tesla, but it's gotten better. I mean, I have it again on the Model Y, and it's like, it's pretty damn good. I don't trust it, but
so it slows you down when you get close to a car. Like I just
you
said,
set your following distance.
Yeah.
And it won't let you veer off the road. But it'll change lanes for you. It'll park for you. It'll parallel park for you. There's other features of Autopilot maybe that are a little better than other cars. I don't know actually.
Would you ever buy a different brand?
I rode in the Mercedes one recently. I forget the name of it. It was more luxurious than the Tesla. It's also like double the price. It's well over 100,000, but it gets a 350 mile range. And my friend, he charges it downtown in the garages,
right?
Using their non-Tesla supercharger options. And that thing, it is luxurious. It's comfortable. It's got vented seats. Like I would switch honestly, but the price point's going to be higher. Would I get a Prius or one of the little Chevy Volts or I don't know, the Ford E-Mach? It looks kind of cool for an SUV. Maybe. They have less charging options, honestly, but I might.
Yeah.
There's so many options these days. I mean, I see so many brands driving around.
So do we have a Tesla dealership?
We don't. You have to go to Raleigh or Charlotte.
Okay.
But that being said, you don't have to go to a dealership. Because you use regenerative braking, you really don't replace brake pads. There's only 8 moving parts on the car, so the only time you'd go to the dealership is if there's an issue, really. There's no oil change. There's no oil. There's no gas.
Oh, that's so crazy.
Yeah, there's no... the biggest thing that goes out is the 12-volt battery, because there's a huge lithium-ion battery, but there's also a 12-volt for like the headlights and stuff. So when that fails, you got to go get it changed. But there's something called mobile service. They'll come to you. You just set it up in the app, and they'll, on a 1 or 2 day delay, come out.
Well, maybe we'll get a Tesla dealership in Wilmington one day. So if somebody was coming to Wilmington with their EV, let's go over again like where they can plug in at, because again, it's either kind of, I don't know where they all are. I know there's one right out front here in the Forum. You said there's one in Mayfair across the street, the Mayfair Shopping Center.
Yeah, so I'll tell you the main ones I use, and then there's tons of other options. Actually, right next door, you can, looking out the window,
almost see it.
This apartment building has 2 just here. I think they're free. You just scan a QR code. It's not locked. You can unlatch it and plug in, so I think it's free. But yeah, in this area for Mayfair, there's 2 free ones for Tesla. There's the supercharger, and there's over at Total Wine on Sir Tyler Drive. There's actually 4 free ones. So those are it's called the J1772. It's called level 2 charging. It's a little slower. It's not a trickle charge. It's about like 30 miles an hour. Those are free though in Mayfair. So if you're going to Starbucks over there, or if you want to You do have to run across the military cutoff, but if you want to go see a movie, you can plug in there and walk,
Yeah.
0.2 miles to the movie theater and fill up a tank while you're watching a movie.
What about downtown?
Downtown, so there's River Place, and then there's the two city Wilmington garages. The one,
2nd Street Parking Garage I know has
yeah,
a
Second
couple of
Street
spots.
has 2 level 2s. Those are slower. I plug in there sometimes overnight. Honestly, if I know I'm going to be drinking and I don't want to drive home, I'll just leave my car there and get it in the morning.
Attaboy.
Yeah, safety first, and I can walk home, so I'll just walk down and get it in the morning. Usually hit the farmer's market on Front Street and then pick up my car. But that's the 2nd Street garage has 2 chargers. The one on Market Street, or I think it's Market, yeah, near Slice of Life, that has the downtown supercharger. So that takes another adapter, which most other cars have. Tesla doesn't have that adapter, but we have superchargers. But that one is the same speed as a Tesla supercharger. I mean, you could fill up in like 15 to 20 minutes. So if you're doing a quick errand, and that garage is free up to 30 minutes. So you can fill up your battery if you're doing an errand down there.
I was out with my friend once, and he has a, is it a Volt? No, it's a Leaf. So Nissan makes the Leaf, and it was an older one. And we were out one night, and we were going to go pick up food, and we went to the wrong Chinese restaurant, and it was pouring rain, and his battery was almost dead. And he didn't tell me that for some reason, I don't know if you know this, but when it's raining really hard, the battery goes down even quicker.
Yeah, so there's a lot to battery science, but the extra water on the road creates more resistance on the tires.
Well, he told me, he said, okay, I'm getting panicky because we've got to drive in the opposite direction and we got to go further. And he says, and I don't have a charger. He said, so if the turtle comes on, if the turtle light comes on, we are screwed. And I was so scared. It never did, but that kind of fixed me for wanting to drive an EV. I'm like, I just don't think I could do it. I think it would be a completely different lifestyle, and I just don't know if I have it in me to do that.
It is a lifestyle. Like, obviously, I know every charger in Wilmington, and like sometimes I go to businesses that have one. Like Ceviche's has a free charger. Obviously, the apartment building right next door here, the Forum has 2. So let's say you're popping in a chicken salad chick, or you're going to.
I love chicken salad chick.
Me too. Yeah, and they've got a charger right on the side of the building.
So good.
It is good.
It is very good. Their lemon basil. Oh goodness gracious.
I like cranberry Kelly. Cheese. They do that new cheese melt croissant. Yeah. Wilmington has great food. This is already a podcast topic.
We
have great food here.
We do lots of segues.
But yeah, Ceviche's has a charger. I'm blanking on another restaurant that has one that I go to a lot. But yeah, I was just, the other night I was at an event up in Topsail Brewing. They have 2 chargers. That's kind of like off near the beach. There's no other chargers around, but if you're there having a beer, having some wings or something, you can top off your battery. So there's lots of free options that businesses offer.
Yeah. Which is good. It's really, really good.
But yeah, range anxiety is a thing. Like, you can go, I would say your outer reaches here. You can go to Raleigh on a full charge. You can go to Charlotte. You can go down.
Probably to Charleston.
You can go to Charleston, yeah, through Myrtle Beach, if you want to take the coastal road. Along 95, I think it's Florence has the new Buc-ee's. I don't know if you guys know Buc-ee's.
What is a Buc-ee's?
Buc-ee's is that huge Texas.
I know the name, but I have no idea
It's
what
a giant
Buc-ee's
gas
is.
station. They have to have at least 200 gas pumps.
I'm just pissed that we got a Sheetz over on the corner of Independence and 17th Street on that little beautiful lot where they used to sell pumpkins and Christmas trees, and now there's a effing Sheetz there. I'm like, really?
Well, yeah, speaking of Sheetz or Wawa or Buc-ee's, the entire 95 corridor, I mean, now for EVs is fine. They've got tons of charging options. Like, I've gone up to New York City and down to Miami, not in the same trip, but you can cover the whole East Coast fine. And like I said, they top off in 15 to 20 minutes. So let's say you need what we call a biology break. You need to go to the bathroom or get some food or something.
Biology break.
Yeah, I'm on all these EV forums, like, because you got to kind of map it out how you're going to drive. And now all the software on the car does it for you. But if you want to plan it out, you kind of check where you're going to take your little break, and it'll top off in 15 minutes. So if you're using 95 up and down the East Coast.
Very interesting. I still don't think it's for me, but my car sort of has these little things where it cuts off when it's at the stoplight, so that's kind of EV-ish. Not really, but
yeah, I mean,
it cuts off, and when I first got it and I didn't realize it did that, I was like, oh my God, this car is completely cut off on me. And it does. When I go to like a drive-through, when I have the brake all the way pressed in, it does completely cut off, and it's very quiet. I'm like, this is weird.
I would say think of it in the long term, because obviously when I first got the car, it was expensive, and Wilmington had less charging infrastructure. I would say North Carolina actually has pretty good charging infrastructure, actually, but I was like, all right, no more oil changes, and I didn't have to pay for charging, and I drove 70,000 miles for free. Like, because in North Carolina, if you want to go anywhere, you have to drive. Charlotte, Raleigh.
Right.
You could fly. It'd be kind of weird. I mean, other cities like Charleston, you'd probably drive to, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's 3 hours away
Yeah. And
from Wilmington, yeah.
Or even up to like the Berry Islands or to the beach, and like over 70,000 miles not paying for gas at all was so nice. And even now, I probably only pay $20 a week, and I drive 4,000 to 5,000 miles a month. Yeah, I drive a lot. So, and that's probably like maybe $100 for transportation a month. No oil changes, just charging when I have to pay for it.
Interesting. Very, very interesting. What you got, Brad?
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
There's tons of Teslas here around now.
There are tons. I see them all the time.
They're way more common than I thought they
Would-
should be
Yeah.
5 years ago. But gosh, it's like you said at a red light, there's a couple of
I mean, I
them
used to think
around.
people used to, I drive a Tesla, huh? You know, I'm
Yeah. It's
special.
not
but
exclusive anymore.
Not anymore. It's just, they're
It's
almost
like
too
driving a
common.
Ford.
It's like, I wouldn't want one just because everybody else got one.
I will say that, I mean, the only enemy of electric vehicles, just with the lithium battery, cold is the enemy. Like, just the way the electrons go through it, and the diatomaceous earth chemistry. Like, there's a certain way that the chemical reaction happens to release the energy, and it doesn't do well in the cold. But we have a good climate here.
Everything
so,
you
like,
just said went right over my head.
Same.
chemistry people. Yeah,
David is a doctor, so everything he said right over my head.
I have a chemistry undergrad, so this
Do
kind
you
of
really? I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Oh, good for you.
biology and chemistry.
I went to Burgall High School, up in high school.
Penderheim.
Penderheim. Excuse me. Yeah, that's right, actually.
But yeah, like if you were in Chicago or somewhere that's really cold, I mean, you see all these stories like the batteries are dying in cold. We don't have to worry about that. I mean, honestly, the battery does better in warm weather, so I think we have a good climate here for EVs.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, yeah.
It doesn't rain a lot. I mean, honestly, like all the things that would reduce your range, I don't think we have to worry about here. So it's pretty, and we have lots of charging options.
So for those of you coming to Wilmington that are scared that we don't have a plug-in anywhere, we have multiple plug-ins for you. So
Tons of plugs.
do
a lot
not
for
be
free.
afraid to drive your EV into Wilmington, because we will take care of you. We will make sure that you are lit. Did we learn anything today?
Always. We're
The-
always educational.
The traffic sucks here, and every single person that lives in New Hanover County has their own car, and they all get on the road at one time and drive. So just know that coming into town,
And
okay?
They drive all day.
And they drive all day, and nobody works here.
Even
because,
worse, all of the transplants
No-
from
nobody-
New
exactly.
England drive even worse.
Yeah,
No offense to
and
New
no-
Jersey drivers.
And nobody in New Hanover County holds a job, because they're all driving around on all day long.
They're like you and me.
Yes,
We
just like you. Absolutely. I go places and I'm like, does anybody in this town work?
Said that
Every
for
time I go somewhere, it's
decades.
full of where. Yeah.
decades now. I used to work for a rental car company, and we said that all the time. Go shuttling cars around. It's like, what do people?
Does
in this town
anybody
do?
work?
Because there's traffic everywhere
All the time.
Yeah, there's no off hours anymore.
No. I say, it starts at 7 and it doesn't hardly stop until 7, and there's no, and it's 7 days a week. You could get out on a Sunday morning and take a drive through town, and it was quiet. And boy, wasn't it nice during COVID though, when everybody had to stay in and you drive around Wilmington and there was no traffic. That was pretty awesome.
Guess what's not nice though? We're coming up on tourist season. Well, we love tourists, but it's going to add extra drivers on the roads, especially near the beach. It's going to get, I mean, especially for Memorial Day. People are going to flock to the beach if it's good weather.
Yeah, and you have to be careful with especially going over to Wrightsville Beach, because the bridge goes up to let the boats go through, and it's typically 10 after the hour, isn't it, Brad?
I think so.
But then if it's a special request from a boat, then they'll close it anyway. And
Are you
that
talking about the one at Wrightsville Beach?
Yeah.
Top of the hour.
is at the top of the hour.
Yeah.
I thought it was 10 after the hour. Anyway,
I
it's
think off season they adjust it, but during the season, I
On the
believe
hour?
it's top and bottom.
so they raise the bridge on the hour every hour, and that backs traffic all the way into Leland. Just about. No, it doesn't.
I will
really.
say though, I mean, when you go over that bridge to Eagle Island, you just feel good. You're going to the beach. I think Wrightsville Beach is great, and yeah, driving over there is trafficy, and there's a lack of parking now. I mean, even though parking is like $60 in the private lots, it still feels good to be.
You can
going
buy
to
a
the beach.
$30 day pass to Wrightsville Beach and Carolina Beach, or it is
Oh, for parking.
yeah, it is $6 per hour, 7 days a week.
When I first moved
on
here,
both of those
some
beaches.
of the side streets were free, and it was like really cheap per hour. And now I feel like it's like $6 an hour. Or like
It is $6 per hour.
I don't even know.
And
how
it
much
used to be
costs all
cheaper
day.
at Carolina Beach, but now it's exactly the same.
Yeah, they anticipated more tourists, I think, and I don't.
Well, like Brad
Brad,
said,
you know about the politics.
You said
of
it was politic.
It's crazy, honestly.
Politicky.
They just don't want.
They don't want people over there.
Yeah.
Right.
And it has an exclusive vibe to it, but still, I feel like we're very lucky to have the beach. I'm going to quote you: "We're a beach town that does not exclusively rely on the beach, but we have a beach."
We do,
Yeah, I would agree with that.
That's your realtor lingo.
and we have beautiful beaches. Yeah.
True.
Oh, one more thing before we go. Do you think it's wise for people to install EV plugs in their homes? Do you think that's a great selling feature, or do you think it's a waste of money, or do you think, because that's a good question, right?
I've got a friend of mine who's got the charger at home.
I mean, even if you don't use it, don't you think that would be a good selling feature for a home?
So, I absolutely do think it would be in this day and age because there's plug-in hybrids and full hybrids, and the J1772 plug I mentioned is universal. Like even Teslas come with the adapter. Everyone can use it, every brand. But I mean, being honest, those units are only about $500 to install, plus the cost of an electrician. You can do it yourself, but it could spark and cause a fire. I wouldn't do it yourself. I mean, I think in the state of North Carolina, you have to get it inspected, and you have to have a certificate from an electrician that's installed correctly. Right. And that, can take a few hours, could be a few $100. Let's call it $1,000 for install. But a lot of times these days, the big thing is you have to look at the grid, the electric grid. So in our state, we have a lot of nuclear energy at night. It's really cheap per kilowatt. So what do most electric car drivers do? They charge overnight when the energy is really cheap. Because just think, there's not a lot of appliances. People are asleep. We're not pulling a lot of energy from the grid. It's really cheap. So I honestly think it would add a little bit of resale value, and it's a good thing to have, and it's not all that expensive to charge at home. And then you wake up with a full tank, and I think gasoline drivers can't say that. Like, you have to make your way to a gas station. So it could be really economical to charge at home.
Brad, have you ever run out of gas?
Actually, no.
I have.
No.
I have.
What were you doing running out of gas?
I don't know. I was a kid, stupid. Of course, I don't know what my excuse is now.
I
But
mean, I've gotten close. Oh, this happened recently?
no, but I'm still stupid. No, when I was a kid, just not paying attention and not realizing that, oh my God, I'm riding on fumes here, and I need to.
I've been on fumes, but I've never run out.
I think everyone runs it on empty. But I will say, actually, relatively, I kind of keep a decent eye on it, just comparatively. And I think gas is pretty expensive in this region comparatively now.
Yeah,
because I go on a lot of road trips, and like I'll be in a big city and it's cheaper than Wilmington, and I'm like, ooh.
Yeah,
I think
I've
it's
never
about
understood why it's so much more expensive here than
always.
even in Burgal.
It used to be cheaper here.
Yeah.
In Greensboro, where I've lived before, it was always a little bit cheaper there than here.
And you know what's interesting? I mean, but we're talking something that's.
But we're at the end of the earth here, so there's not really anywhere else to
We're on a
go.
peninsula.
So
I think
we
it's
don't.
coming off the ship and it's whatever, but you got Wilmington, then it gets crazy expensive in Rocky Point.
Yeah.
Then it drops out cheaper in Burgal and Wallace.
Yeah. I don't know.
saying.
I've always been the
There are
idea
chargers
that
in
why
the
isn't it all the same across the board, no matter where you go? I mean, I don't get it. Never did understand that, but I guess that's something I'll never understand. But
You may never know.
well, anyway, David, thank you so much for being a part of our little podcast. I think this one's going to be an Emmy award-winning show. This particular episode.
Thanks for
I
having
think
me.
I think we're going to nail it.
had
Somebody's going to
fun.
hear this, and we're going to get an award.
And I will say, we sassed Brad at the beginning about being on his phone. You've talked a lot on this one.
I went silent during the EV stuff. But
I thought you passed out from that shot. I was like, "What the hell's
We
going
had
on
some
over there?"
good banter.
We had some great banter.
We try to
Great
keep it
banter.
going.
Yeah. So,
He
recap.
wants to come back. He wants to be like part of
You can
the
be part of
cast.
it if you want to.
I could be.
We could talk about
I'm not an expert on anything.
Next time we
else.
can talk
Neither
about
are we.
we can talk about teeth next time.
I am a dentist. Yeah, actually, there's tons of dental offices popping up in Wilmington. They're taking over Wilmington. I mean,
I'm gonna tell you what, Wilmington not only suffers from traffic, but they suffer from vanity. This is a vain town. All the fitness centers,
It
all the
is.
Botox, all the.
Do you know I was
dentists.
getting ready to research and do a YouTube video about all of the
Vanity?
about what?
Vanity.
Well,
The
no,
sinful
about
nature
all
of
of the
Wilmington?
about all the gyms. And do you know
There's a
I
lot of
counted-
gyms popping
I
up. Oh my
counted 40
God.
plus, and
They don't
and there
last.
was like 4 or 5 more pages that I didn't even count. And now some of them repeated themselves, but We have a lot of gyms. This
When I
is
started
a
here, there's
game
like
county.
one CrossFit. Now there's all these CrossFit boxes. Crunch is coming in. All these
Oh my God,
chains.
it's
It seems
crazy. It's crazy. So yeah, everybody's
like health and wellness, baby.
health and wellness. Yet
As I look at a bottle of Tito's.
Yet
on the
we've
desk.
got more breweries probably than Asheville has. I'm not sure what the
We're getting
numbers
there
are now.
now,
I
for
think
sure.
we're competing with them, but we've got a brewery.
I think that's supposed to be.
We've got a brewery on every corner. We've got a gas station on every corner, and we've got storage facilities on every corner, and a Dollar General,
And a Tesla on
and
every
apartment complexes, and EV plug-ins. So we've got it going on here. We really. I don't know why
All those things on any corners. Where are all the corners?
there are no corners left. And the prettiest corner in Wilmington has a Sheets on it, for God's sake, which I'm not happy about. And
Billy,
I'm not
give
going to
in.
go there.
Go get a hot melt sandwich.
I'm not going to go to
It'll
Sheets.
cheer your heart.
I'm not going to do it. It's positioned where I can't get in and out of it. Thank God.
Yeah.
It's not where I would drive into. Well, I guess it is. I could scoot in the back way, but I'm not going to do it. I'm gonna resist. But anyway, again, thanks, David, for being on here. We greatly appreciate it. And Brad,
See,
what are we going to talk about next time?
we are going to ramp up Burgal
Burgal,
and the North Carolina Blueberry Festival,
my hometown.
and we will have Mayor Olivia Dawson,
Which is
with
going to
us.
be
It's gonna be
exciting.
kind of exciting.
I can't wait. Yeah. So in the meantime, if you haven't already done so, please consider subscribing to our podcast and share it with your friends because it's a lot of fun, right, David? You had the best time of your life.
I had a great time. Thanks for hosting me all. I will share and like and subscribe.
Absolutely.
I've already done all that.
You
But
already did.
this episode I will.
Do all that. And remember, if someone doesn't have a smile, what do we do, David?
Give them yours.
Yes.
Yes,
And
we got
use your blinker, for God's sake. Bye, everybody.